Hello and welcome to the Section 4.1 lecture today. Today in our Bridges Geometry class, we're starting to look at some compass and straight edge constructions. So when geometry was first starting to become a thing, people would start trying to model everything that they looked at, everything from triangles to lines to circles and everything in between. And they needed a way to make it work and really needed a way to build upon kind of the basics that they had. And so the first way that they did that was with some tool that would draw a circle, probably similar to the compasses that we use now. Obviously not the north, south, east, west type of compass, but a tool that looks like this. And they also had the use of a straight edge. Now, most straight edges that we see probably look like this. They've got the centimeters on one side, inches on the other, and you can always flip that around and everything's great. And yeah, right, it measures, it gives you a straight edge. Even on here, I love what kind of coding must have went into this program, because if I try to draw, okay, now I made a liar out of myself. If I do what is clearly meaning for it to draw a straight line with it, I guess it will actually draw a straight line. That first one kind of got me. Usually I could dive into it and it would do it that way too, but I guess it won't here. Just because of how much of a pain this is to use, I'm probably not going to use it very often. And not that I don't think it's important, but the idea that I have to come here to move it around, then if I want to angle a line anyway, I've got to, let's say I want an angled line through A and C here. It just makes me have to do something, then redo it, then and shift so many different things. So I'm just going to use straight line tools. I know that may seem like a cheating way to do it, but I would almost say that you've got it a little bit nicer having the straight edge. So as we go through a lot of this stuff, the one thing I don't want you to use the ruler as is I don't want you to use it as a measuring device. It's literally just a solid edge that lets you draw a perfectly straight line. So use that for how it's intended. So as we get moving through here, there's a bunch of constructions that I have sort of set up for us to do over several days. And I just want you to get plenty of practice with doing it and try to understand what's going on. It's not always going to work out that way, but do your best to understand why. Not only how to do things, and this is what I mean by that, but not only how to do things, but why you're doing it, okay? So the first one that we're looking at here today is the ability to copy a segment. And I really want to urge you that even though I kind of did it there and I kind of got away with it, but it does say that it's step 2, I guess. The first thing you really need to do is you need to have another point. You need to have a point where you're going to move this segment. So I want to build a segment C, and I might as well call the second point on it D, that is the same length as AB. Of course, we probably have technology nowadays, right, that I can probably just bring this right down here and say, wow, it looks like it's about 2¼ inches. So I could probably, kind of just draw a segment that is 2¼ inches long, and everything would probably be okay. But I don't want to look at doing that. I want to do it with the compass and straight edge instead. So we want to have a place for our new segment to live, right? We want to set a starting point for it. Okay, and then. And this is kind of the step 1, and I kind of skipped to the step 2, I guess. Actually, I would say that that's not even, having a starting point isn't even a step on here because it's already there for you. But if I just give you a segment and say copy it, a lot of people are going to start off, they'll put the compass on here, and then they'll be kind of lost as to what to do with it. You need to have a point for your new segment to start. So I measure the segment. That means I'm going to put the anchor point on one end point and the pencil on the other. And so I've got that set up. And now without moving it, and this is where it gets a little bit tricky using a compass, a lot of times we're looking at, hey, hold that setting, don't move that length. And then I want to move it down here to C. Now, what you'll find me doing most of the time is just drawing a little arc. Okay, making this little mark out here. And if I'm just copying a segment, there's any point on this arc is going to make point D where segment CD is congruent to AB. Any point on that arc. Now, very loosely, I say any point on that arc. Actually, what I mean there is not only any point on the arc, but any point that's along this circle. I could have picked that point to be up here. And I could have said that this line here was congruent to AB, and it would be because every radius of the same circle is congruent. That's kind of how a circle's built. A circle is defined as the points around the outside of the circle that are all the same distance away from some point in the middle. So all these points along this circle are the same distance away from C as any other ones. And by that, by what we did to get this constructed, it's the same distance from A to B as it is from C to any point along that circle. Okay. Now, do you need to draw the whole circle to do it? I'm going to say no. Even though you're using a compass, and a compass is really good at drawing a circle, it's actually kind of hard still. Now, again, this is a tool that's made for drawing a circle. Mine makes it look really easy because I put the pen down in, some kind of, some little hand waving gesture, and it makes a perfect circle. There's no arguing with that. When you're doing it by hand, it's actually a little bit tougher. And that's why I really suggest, let me try to get back here a ways. I really suggest only making little marks when you need them and where you need them. Okay, it makes it a lot easier. All right, and so that is how to copy a segment. The next one we want to look at, actually I need that compass, come on with us. The next thing I want to do is I want to do what we call bisect a segment or cut a segment in half. That is the task that I want to complete. Okay, let's kind of read through the directions, and I'm going to read through them and maybe show you what it looks like with circles, and then go back through and kind of go with a minimalist idea and only show you exactly what you need to mark on your paper. The one thing I will say is with a lot of constructions, you're going to make a lot of marks that you're going to use, but they're not really part of the answer. I still want to see those marks. Okay. So let's see. It says set the compass to over half of AB. I would say that I'm over, we'd say halfway is about here. So anywhere over that, excuse me, and I'm good to go. Okay, I just need to be over that mark. It says to swing an arc from both points A and B that pass above and below AB. Let me look at why. I'm going to look at why we have kind of a rule for that just by drawing the whole circle. I think it's a little bit helpful. So I've got my two circles here, right? And this is really accomplishing this step 2 here. Okay. Next one says place a straight edge on the intersection of the two arcs. Well, for us, that's the intersection of the two circles. One thing that's big when it comes to these kind of constructions is that a lot of times I'm looking for, okay, well, where does the circle intersect another circle, or where does the circle intersect one of the lines that I'm given, or something like that. I'm looking for that a lot. And in this case, it's where do these two things intersect? Where they intersect, we want to put a straight line through it. And here's where these directions differ just a little bit. If all I'm doing is trying to find the midpoint is right here. It's the point where the red line crosses the black line. That is the midpoint. Now, really what I've done is I have found the perpendicular bisector of AB, and we've talked about these before. They cut this AB segment in half, and they meet it, and the perpendicular bisector meets it at a right angle. So I know a couple cool things just from that. That red line is cutting that black line in half, and it meets it at a right angle. Those are two really big things that we, sometimes have to work a little bit for. And this was work. Don't think that it wasn't. Okay, but let's look at, if I'm to look at kind of a minimalist idea, what do we need when we're trying to do this on our own? So we still need to set the compass to over halfway. That part's going to happen. And really, what do I need to make this red line? Well, I needed this point and this point. And where did those points come from? The intersection there and there. So where those two circles crossed, and this one and this one. I'll miss that a little bit more. So that's all I need to draw when I'm doing this. So what do I mean by that? And I'm going to continue this throughout all the videos because I started doing it in class a little while ago. And I just feel like it's helpful to some people to see it with the circles to understand why we don't really draw the whole circles. I just think it helps just a little bit. So what does that really mean? I need some mark. Well, let me make sure. Okay, I'm over halfway, so I'm good. I need some mark below this line, and I can risk it and make a small mark, or it can be a little bit safer and make the mark a little bit bigger. I need it to intersect with the other ones that I'm going to draw. So if I do something that maybe isn't much of a mark, that just marked on the paper. If I do something that isn't much of a mark, then it's not really going to help me very much. So I want to make those marks from both sides. So I'll make it there, and that intersects, so I'm good there. And we're going to swing that up here and make this one. As long as I get where those two sets of arcs intersect, I can put points there, I can put my straight edge on it, and I can draw my line. And I missed that one a little bit. Okay, you're going to miss things. Things are going to be off just a little bit from time to time. It's understandable. And this is so close I can't even set it there because, it's trying to snap the line vertically. So you're going to, so I would say, and this is only going to bug me, I'm sure nobody else will care, but I would say I'm missing that point with that red line. I really would. You can choose to let that bother you and go back and fix it, or you can just live with it and move on. You have all the marks there. You have everything that matters. Maybe I didn't hit the exact middle of that B point, or maybe my compass, not mine, but if I was doing it by hand, sometimes maybe my compass just slightly opened while I was drawing an arc, right? If you see anything where, it kind of looks like this, okay, that little point right there is where your compass is slightly opening, and that creates issues, okay? So little mistakes like that are going to happen. I'm okay with them, okay? I just want you to take pride in what you're doing and do your best, all right? So anyways, that is 4.1. Come back for 4.2. If you have any questions, make sure you let me know. Otherwise, I hope you have a great day, and we'll see you in class.